PSL soccer here in Central Florida, and sports fans in Central and West Florida alike have represented our community with pride, passion, and enthusiasm. The Tropics want to thank you for your support of soccer here in Polk County. We're just minutes away from kickoff between Sporting Orlando SC and your Tropics SC. Another first place showdown here tonight as the United Premier Soccer League presents Tropics SC as they host Sporting Orlando. Greetings all, and thanks for spending a bit of your time with us here at the Lake Myrtle Sports Complex on a lovely evening, a beautiful night for soccer, and two of the top teams in the UPSL West Central Florida Division battling here tonight. Not actually a battle for first place, but practically speaking, it probably will be. These are two of the better teams in the division. In fact, the Tropics, the only team in the division right now without a blemish on their record. They have played 3 games. They have won all 3, and in fact, so good have been the Tropics here early in the season. Not only have they won all 3 games, they have not even given up a goal yet this season. But that will be tested very much here tonight by Sporting Orlando as they come in with a record of 4 wins, 1 defeat, and 1 loss. So they have 13 points in the table right now and sit atop the table in the 8-team division. The Tropics, though, have 3 games in hand, and should the Tropics win tonight, they would move to within just 1 point of Sporting Orlando for first place in the division and still have those 3 games in hand. So we'll see how it all plays out. Win, lose, or draw, Sporting Orlando will in fact still be in first place technically, but the Tropics would be very much breathing down their necks with a 4th straight win here tonight. Glad to have you along as the Tropics are in the middle of a 5-game homestand. They won the opener against Clay County 5-0, and then a very impressive 6-0 win over St. Petersburg. The Aztecs here last Wednesday night, by far the Tropics' best game of the season, and we'll see if they can continue that momentum here tonight against a very good Sporting Orlando side. So we'll set the stage a little bit for you as we continue to get ready to get the opening kick here. We do not have a scoreboard tonight. We apologize for that. We'll keep a running time for you and update you along the webcast in terms of where we are in terms of a score and time. But they are working on the scoreboard problem, we're assured. But at the moment, we are keeping the time right here on the sideline, and we'll keep you abreast as that unfolds. Some early pressure by Melvin Boateng, number 7 for the Tropics, who have gotten off to very quick starts in every one of their wins. In fact, the script has been identical in all 3 games. They have scored in the 5th minute mark in all 3. So we'll see if they can turn that trick here again tonight, or at least get an early one to turn the momentum their way early. Hugo Silva will take it for the Tropics here. He is perfect in goal. 3 clean sheets and 3 starts. 2 of them, he went the full 90. And in the 3rd, that game against Clay County, when the Tropics were still concluding their professional indoor season, and where Hugo is the netminder as well, he only played about 60 or so minutes that night. So backup George Navarrete shared in that shutout. But the goal differential for the Tropics is at an impressive 13 after just 3 games. Here's Garrettson Crane trying to get it to Victor Pereiras, and Victor will keep it in the field of play here. Looks for a cross, has in front, and Ojeda just misses the run through the boxes. He made a bid for his 3rd goal of the season. Tackle and a foul against the Tropics. Diegas was there as well, although it was Ojeda who tried to get the redirect. Ojeda, one of several Tropics players with 2 goals this season. Ricardo Diegas, the leading goal getter. No surprise for the Tropics with 5 in 3 games. Got the franchise's first ever goal in that win April 27th up at Disney's Wide World of Sports. And has added a couple each of the first 2 home games. So we'll keep an eye on number 9, Ricardo Diegas. That's number 9, Vinny Oliveria for Sporting Orlando that loses it. And the Tropics will try and push forward here as Ojeda has it. Machado with it, back to Ojeda now. Tropics will send it back to Monalaris and over to Andrew Clare to reset the attack. Crane has it now. Crane with some pressure by Cabral. Pascal Millien with the cross-field pass, and Ojeda has it. Knocked off his foot by Holland, and they will give the throw in here to Sporting Orlando. Two teams have one common opponent amongst them so far this year. That would be the Institute FC. As we said, that was the Tropics' first ever game back on April 27th. As Pereiras will lose it to Cabral. Good intercept by Crane to Pereiras. Gives it to Cabral, making a run down the left side. Turns it towards the box. Crane still with it, and finally taken down, and no whistle. So it'll be a goal kick as Crane tried to create an opportunity there. So the Tropics beat Institute FC by a score of 2-0. And just a couple of weeks ago, Sporting Orlando beat the Institute FC by a 5-1 score. So that is some measure of Sporting Orlando's quality, and the fact that this will likely be the best team that they have seen, the Tropics, so far. In fact, here's a steal now. That was Matias Viana on the steal, and he's taken down, and it's going to be a direct kick here for Sporting Orlando right from a very dangerous spot near the top of the arc. Good work by Viana to create the opportunity. So Hugo Silva may get an early test here from, looks to be maybe about 24, 25 yards out. Monalaris will be in there on the wall as the, looks like Corey Mills in there and Claire. I think it's Garrettson Crane also in there. So a four-man wall here for the Tropics. Here's a shot, never got through. Good defensive work as Holland tried to find a little chink in the armor there and could not. Viana could not keep it in place, so the Tropics will get a throw in here. Moving close to the 7-minute mark here now, so the Tropics don't look like they're going to get that goal in the first 5 minutes as they have in each of the first three. Here's Millien through the midfield. He's taken down. Millien, a star at Auburndale High School, not far from Lake Myrtle. In fact, the Lake Myrtle Sports Complex is actually a City of Auburndale facility, and the Auburndale Bloodhounds play their games not more than a couple, 3 miles from here. And it was Millien who really helped set the stage for all the success that Auburndale has had in boys soccer, which culminated in yet another state title this past spring. Millien was a member of the first state title team for the Bloodhounds back in 2005, a native of Haiti. Has played more than 24 games for the men's national team from Haiti in international competition, and had a remarkable career in Auburndale with 114 goals in his 3 seasons. Played a couple of years with the Tampa Bay Rowdies as well back in 2010, 2011. Reeds.
Are they not on that sheet?
That's Boateng trying to pick it up for the Tropics. Into the box now. Chance for Sporting Orlando, and that's knocked well over the frame. That was Fabio Costa with a shot. But can definitely see already that Sporting Orlando is going to be able to create more chances than St. Petersburg was able to here last Wednesday. Another absolutely Chamber of Commerce kind of night here. Not nearly as much breeze as we had last week, but a very, very pleasant evening indeed. That one will roll all the way back to Eduardo Matos, the Sporting Orlando netminder. Manolaris gets ahead on it, but can't keep it in play. Next chance to see the Tropics SC in action is Friday night right here at Lake Myrtle. That'll be game 4 of this 5-game homestand, and I know it can be a challenge sometimes to try and get out to see the team midweek, but 2 back-to-back Friday night games coming up here, April 26th, and then again on May the 3rd. That will conclude the 5-game homestand. Kickoff at 7:30. For ticket information, 863-240-0101. And then a trip up the coast to Jacksonville to take on the Jacksonville Armada under 23 team. That should be a good tussle as well. Of course, we'll talk a lot tonight about the U.S. Open Cup coming right here to Lake Myrtle and the Lakeland Tropics, as Silva will play it off to Andrew Clare, who's got some space to motor. Gives it up to Gerritsen Crane now. Crane will slow it down and get it back out to Millien at the midfield circle. Millien down to Ojeda. Ojeda with a little space. Machado making a run down the right wing. Takes it from Ojeda and then loses it. And then taken right back by Mien. Good play to Dieguez. Dieguez tried to turn and get it to Victor Pereras. Couldn't do it. Now Pereras has it. Oh, and Dieguez just couldn't get the redirect in front. Good idea by Victor Pereras, and Ricardo Dieguez, number 1 and 2 scorers for the Florida Tropics Major Arena Soccer League team this past season. Ricardo, the leading goal getter. Victor leading the team in points. They, of course, will be back for a 4th season at the RP Funding Center late in 2019. The flagship franchise of the Tropics organization. Along here with the Tropics SC now and the Lakeland Tropics, who will start their season May 11th at historic Bryant Stadium in Lakeland. And of course the Lakeland Tropics, the team that will be representing Polk County in that U.S. Open Cup game. That is Tuesday night, May 7th, in case you haven't circled that on your calendar yet, but you need to be here for that one. It'll be a great night. Here's a Crane, gets it through to Dieguez. Dieguez trying to keep the play alive and finally knocked over the end line. Fernando Moron with the close marking on Dieguez there. Here's Pereras with it. Pereras tries to get it through the box. It's deflected in front, and Matos is able to make a good save. That had a little bit of English on it. Throw in coming up here for Sporting Orlando. Cabral will do the honors. 12 minutes gone in the first half. 12 minutes gone. Ojeda will pick up the loose ball. No score here. This is the longest the Tropics have gone into a game in their first year in the UPSL without a goal. Couple of chances for Diegas early, but just not quite connecting with his buddy Victor Pereiras. Mills with it. Had a chance to interview Corey Mills for our Tropics Weekly, which you can catch every week on the Tropics social media pages, Facebook in particular. So look for that. Got Melvin Boateng coming up as try and introduce you to some of the faces and players that Tropics fans might not be quite as familiar with. Corey, a native New Zealander. Nice, he's got it now and gives it to Crane. Crane, left side of the box in front. Redirect. Goal! Pretty passing play by the Tropics, and Ricardo Diegas finishes it off on the assist from Garrettson Crane. And in the 14th minute, the Tropics have a 1-0 lead. So again, the Tropics indeed do get on the board first. It just took a little longer. But a really pretty passing play that came from Pereiras to Crane and then to Diegas with the redirect. So
Tropics goal scored by number 9, Ricardo Diegas, his 6th of the season. The assist to Garrettson Crane comes in the 14th minute. Diegas from Crane in the 14th minute.
Manolares will play it ahead. Machado with it on the far side. He looks for a cross. It's denied, makes a nice little move, and a foul is going to be called against Sporting Orlando here. So the Tropics will get a chance to boot one in front of the box here from the far sideline. See if Pereiras will in fact go over and take this. He often is the trigger man on free kicks in the offensive third, and it looks like Victor will make his way over that way. Appreciate all the viewership on mycujo.com. That's my.cujoo.com. Second straight week, Tropics game was the 4th most watched game in the entire UPSL. So we appreciate everyone taking their time to check us out. Here's Pereira serving into the box. Ricardo trying to make a back post run, and Victor had just a little bit too much bend on that one. Here's a steal now by the Tropics. Chance in front, right side, shot, and that is blasted by Ojeda just over the crossbar. Great opportunity on the turnover.
Oh, we tried everything.
And Ojeda, who has goals in each of the first 2 home games here for the Tropics, this is a golden chance for his 3rd. So Rojas will put it in play here, or rather Matos, my apologies. Eduardo Matos in goal tonight for Sporting Orlando. Boateng with the header, gets it to Ojeda. Ojeda in the box, leaves it, looking for a chance, and good work by the Sporting Orlando defense there to clear it out of danger. Into Mills and right back to Garrettson Crane. Gets it down to Pereiras now. Pereiras being marked in there by Cabral. He's done a lot of heavy lifting early on both Ricardo Diegas and Victor Pereiras. Of course, Sporting Orlando knows where the Tropics bread is buttered as well. Matos comes out to knock it away from Ojeda at the last second. Good anticipation by the Sporting Orlando goalkeep there. Pressure again in the offensive third by the Tropics. Created a good scoring chance last time, and they get the turnover again as Mien now will play it back to Garrettson Crane, who will reset the Tropics attack. Boateng with it. He's got some good speed and a good shot as well. He leaves it for Dieguez, tried a little back heel for Ojeda, but that was broken up. Steal in there by Pereiras. And Mills picks it up over to Mien. So the Tropics doing a good job of really creating some turnovers in the zone. Again, a give and go between Dieguez and Ojeda. Nothing happens. A little back heel by Dieguez, and I think that even surprised Ojeda a little bit. But finally, the visitors, Sporting Orlando, will get a throw in here. 1-0 Tropics as we are now into the 19th minute here in the first half. Cabral will do the honors. And as Vinny Oliveria, number 9, didn't have any space to really operate, but the Sporting Orlando side will get the throw in here. Chance now at the top of the box, but the through ball intended for Viana was just a little tall, and Silva was able to come out and cover. Crane once again will spearhead the attack here for the Tropics. Good pressure by Oliveria. And that will actually result in a Sporting Orlando throw-in. No, sorry, it was Crane getting the thought so. Thought Cabral was actually moving up to maybe make the throw-in there, but definitely a Florida ball. Silva will again get it up to Crane now. Pereiras gets it to the middle of the field, creates a little space for him. Pereiras to Dieguez. Now a little give and go with Melvin Boateng, and that didn't quite click. Again, a good idea by the Tropics. They are close and might get one rather sooner rather than later if they keep at it. Some very nice unselfish play is the unselfish play that set up the Ojeda chance. Second best chance the Tropics have had down the board tonight. There's Milian with it. Pereiras will get it over to Corey Mills. Really enjoyed our chat with Corey this week on Tropics Weekly, and we get a fresh Tropics Weekly every week, 52 weeks a year, whether it's the indoor season or the outdoor season. Just had a nice session out at the Florida Brewery in Auburndale, not too far from here as well. Really a hidden gem here in Polk County. Turnover now for Sporting Orlando. There's a nice ball. Chance at the top of the box, shot, and that goes well wide as Fabio Costa let it go. Sporting Orlando has had more chances than both Clay County and St. Petersburg, who opened this homestand. So for the Tropics, the challenge of keeping a clean sheet again here tonight will be greater than they have faced the last couple of nights, or the last couple of games rather. The Institute FC actually had a couple of good chances up at Disney. Silva had a really, really good save in the second half against St. Petersburg last week. Short side chance midway through the second half. Probably his best save of the season, quite honestly. Monolaris with it. Back to Andrew Clare now. Clare will look on the near sideline and get it to Garrettson Crane, one of the players from Southeastern University. And a chance to see Clay Roberts here tonight, the Southeastern men's coach, and of course the Florida Tropics professional arena coach. Mills sticks a foot in there, and the Tropics will get possession now. Crane will reset the offense. Tip of the soccer cap to the Baltimore Blast for fans that follow the Florida Tropics, all too familiar with their former Eastern Division foes, winning Game 2 of their playoff series in Utica last night, and then winning the mini game as well to keep their hopes alive for a 4th straight MASL championship. Be a very tasty Sunday for indoor soccer fans on April 28th, this coming Sunday. And here's a ball into the top of the box now. 1 against 3, and that math does not work at all for Vinny Oliveria. Milwaukee will host Baltimore in the Eastern Conference Championship game. That starts at 3 o'clock Eastern Sunday afternoon, and then later that night to finish out, as we said, a very attractive soccer doubleheader. Monterey Flash will travel to San Diego to take on Landon Donovan and the San Diego Sockers. And that is the Western Conference Showdown. Then the winner of those two will meet for the MASL Championship the following weekend. So down to 4 teams left. Here is a chance and a shot right on by Mills, and Matos was able to handle that with relative ease. So Mauricio Salas had a nice series for Utica City, the former Tropics forward. Great success story, Utica, this year, a Monday night playoff game, and they had a sold-out arena, the Adirondack Bank Center. Great atmosphere to play up there. Been a real success story as they moved about 60 miles down the New York State Thruway from Syracuse to Utica, and really captured a lot of fans there, and they'll be back and be a huge factor again in the 2019-2020 season. Diega's trying to find some space. Back over the sideline. It'll be a throw in here for Orlando.
Now into the 26th minute. Score remains Tropics SC 1, Sporting Orlando 0.
Throw in here for Orlando. Oliveria at the top of the box, knocked out of there at the last minute. Good defensive work by Garrettson Crane, getting back to deny Oliveria. Pereira's through the midfield, do Boateng, and right back to Victor. Ball through the box now. Stop. Lay off to Ojeda. Ojeda can't get there. Diegas picks it up, tries the far post chip, and is unable to convert there. Matos lets it fly, and Tropics will get possession. Mills will have it briefly, but loses it. And then taken right back by Victor Pereiras. Mills will lay it back to Crane now. Crane will survey the landscape and gets it in the middle of the field, now to Boateng. Boateng. Got Machado making a run far side, and it's going to be knocked over the end line. It'll be a corner kick here for, nope, it'll be a goal kick for Matos. Thought it was deflected off Beandy Holland of Sporting Orlando, but the official says no. He was a little bit closer to it than I was. Mills with some pressure again. Now going to be taken away by Pereiras. But he is going to lose it, and a counter chance here now by Sporting Orlando is Reale. Gives it off to Oliveria. Now Reale going to try and chase it down in the corner, but it's going to be too far in front of him, and the Tropics' Hugo Silva will get a goal kick here. So we head towards the 29th minute. Actually in the 29th minute now.
So has that always been
Pereiras will try and get it ahead to Dieguez, and now Boateng will pick up the loose ball. Boateng, who has a couple of goals this season. Corey Mills had his first. There's number 14 right here at the midfield line. He had his first in the second half of that 6-0 win last week against St. Petersburg. Claire will play it forward to Crane now. Crane a little bit of space if he wants to take it down the sideline. Instead, we'll pull it back out to Pereiras. Pereiras will reverse fields and was looking for maybe Machado to make a run, and Leonardo was not making one. Throw in coming up here for the Tropics. Milien with a little move and a foul on the takedown right at the midfield line. Milien's going to be okay. Crane, who had the nice assist on Ricardo Dieguez' 6th of the season in the 14th minute. And that's where we stand, 1-0. Mills with a through ball to Dieguez, who tried to come out and meet it. Boateng with some hustle, and nice work by Melvin to keep it alive to Pereiras. Now to Crane. Crane going to be pushed wide again, and so he'll lay it back to Victor. And this is Milien with it. Boateng now. Boateng pushes forward. Boateng tried to hit Ojeda, and Casquet was just a step slow on that one. Not fair, I guess, to say slow, just a step behind. Pass was a little too far out in front. Again, Tropics have just missed clicking on 2 or 3 at least of those through balls to the box. One of them's going to click here, and perhaps before the first half comes to an end. We'll see. It's Pereiras with it. Pereiras moves to his right, top of the box, gets it through to Ojeda. Now here's Milien, who steps up. Milien unable to keep possession, but the Tropics will get a corner kick here. They will move up a couple of their taller players for this. Andrew Clare, Lucas Monolaris, both Lucas about 6'2", Andrew about maybe 6'3" or even 6'4", son of former pro soccer player John Clare, brother, of course, of Tropics forward Matt Clare. John playing for the, I believe it was the Fort Lauderdale Strikers back in the day. Pereiras will tee it up here from the far corner. Bends it in front. There's a header on goal, but never quite got through as it was cleared out of there. But the Tropics will control in front. There's a chance, and again cleared out by the Sporting Orlando defense. Dangerous moment there for Orlando. They have survived it, at least for the time being. Ojeda with it. He loses it. Good defensive work by Fabio Costa to take it away from Ojeda. But then Machado will get it right back, and he will continue a run deep here into the Orlando zone. Tries to get it in front, still loose in the box, and knocked out of there. The end will
pick up that 50-50 ball. Good work by Pascal. And then he gets another takeaway. So Pascal Millien doing some nice work out at the midfield area. Herrera's out near the midfield circle now, gets it over to Montoleris. He'll push forward from his defensive position. Heading towards the end of the first half here in the 34th minute. Crane can't get it in front, but now it is taken by Ohana with a shot, and Matos grabs that one. Don't know if it was ticketed for the far post or not. It was close. Cascade got some swerve on that one, but Matos had time to react and come out and make the save. Mills now. Through ball to Machado. Machado will look for the cross. Does get it in front. There's a layoff shot, and Matos with a save. It was deflected and not overly well struck, so it was not a difficult stop for Matos as he was right where he needed to be. Oliverio trying to create his own opportunity here in the Tropics end of the field. Finally will take a shot that is blocked in there by Claire. Oliveria again was 1 against 3, and that is tough math. There's not enough numbers there for Sporting Orlando to really create a special opportunity. So Oliveria just finally let it fly, and Claire was right there to make sure Hugo Silva did not have to come up with a save.
Heading to the 36th minute. Score remains Tropics SC 1, Sporting Orlando 0.
Because they're not the same. They've changed it. I love those guys.
Chance for a counter here for Orlando. Cabral tries to hit one of his teammates making a run. That was Oliveria, and again, no connection. Oliveria a little disappointed. Melvin Boateng with it. Ohana now gets away from his man, has some space, looks for Diegues. Diegues with a chance. Shot, and that just misses high over the top left corner. Great strike by Diegues, and just inches away from making it 2-0 and getting his second of the night. Nice ball as well by Ohana. Substitute here for Sporting Orlando is Matias Viana is going to head off. See if we can catch the replacement player here for you in just a moment. Don't forget the Tropics back home here Friday night. So if you haven't had a chance to come out midweek, these last couple of home games, then you'll get a chance this Friday and next Friday to conclude the 5-game homestand. 8 games in all here at Lake Myrtle this summer. This is the 3rd of the 8. Spring season running into June, and then, of course, hopes for the postseason for the Tropics. Claire will push it forward to Crane. Now Marianne with it. Mills will come and pick it up. Boateng with it. To Ohana. Ohana looks to create. Gets it to Diegues. Diegues tries to turn. A couple of defenders on him, so he'll bring it back out. A special thanks this evening to our presenting sponsor for tonight's game, Florida Brewery, right here in Auburndale. They are located right in the shadows of Auburndale High School football stadium. Make sure you check out their new beer garden, which debuted here in 2019, just as the Tropics SC have. The beer garden open Friday nights and Saturdays. Great food, great music, and of course, great local beer at the Florida Brewery right here in Auburndale. Our thanks for their support. Corner kick coming up here for Orlando. I believe this will be their first of the evening. Chance perhaps here to create off a set piece and get the game-tying goal. Tropics have not given up a goal yet here in the 2019 season. Ball is on the way. In front and headed out of there. I think it was Claire that got a piece of it. No surprise there. He's probably the tallest player on the field. Rodrigo Cabral, pretty good size for Sporting Orlando. Now here's a chance again. In front, there's a takedown, and the referee says play on. So we have just a little over 5 minutes to go here in the first half now. Still just 1-0 Tropics. There's a chance for Garrettson Crane to get up ahead of steam. Gets it to Pereiras. Pereiras will have some room to operate. Gets it back through to Crane now, and just a little too far ahead for Garrettson. Otherwise, the Tropics would have had another glorious opportunity, but unable to make that connection. As we mentioned, the Tropics, the only team in the West Central Division to have a perfect mark. They are 3-0 and is good for 9 points and currently 4th place, but the reality is the Tropics have played the fewest games of any of the teams in the division. In fact, Sporting Orlando tonight, this is their 7th. The Tropics have only played, this will be their 4th. So if the Tropics can hang on for a win here, they would pull to within 1 point of Sporting Orlando at the top of the Pro Premier Florida Central West table and be just 1 point behind Orlando. The St. Petersburg Aztecs, who the Tropics handily defeated here last week, 6-0. One of those teams with 10 points as well. They have 3 wins, a draw, and a loss. The other team with 10 points so far is Hurricane FC, also at 3-1-1. They will be on the schedule later this year. I believe they play over in Oldsmar, and that will be one of the Tropics road games later this season. Here's Pereiras trying to create an opportunity in front. I think that is Mills that was a little shaken up there, but he is back in action. A couple of minutes to go here in the first half, still 1-0. Was the score line for the Tropics and the Institute FC in the March 27th visit to Wide World of Sports Complex. And then Melvin Boateng gave the club a little bit of insurance in the second half with a goal in the 68th minute. Pereiras, nice takeaway. William Diaz with a good defensive play. Monolaris knocks it away, and Claire gets it out of danger. Ohana with a nice little move with it. He's got some space. Ohana just, again, a little bit pushed too far ahead of him, and finally a foul against Ohana. Cascade a little bit frustrated there as he's had a couple of chances just be a half step away from clicking. Another one of those Tropics with the 2 goals on the season. Victor Pereira with 1. Xavier Silva, who has been a regular second half substitute, also with 2 goals. We'll see if Coach Lucas Teixeira puts him in at some point in the second half. Expect that he might. .45th minute coming up here, so we don't have much time left. Maybe one more opportunity for Sporting Orlando to see if they can get the equalizer. Silva has not had to make any huge saves tonight, although Sporting Orlando has had 2 or 3 pretty decent chances, just haven't quite been able to connect. Here's a long ball into the box now, and Silva will be able to handle that one. Here comes Ohana. One last thrust here, perhaps, for the Tropics. Ball ahead. And knocked over the end line. Then it'll be a corner here for the Tropics. So a chance right before the whistle to see if the Tropics can create some magic on a set piece here. Again, Monoliths and Clear will push forward. See if they can take advantage of their size. They've just a couple of times missed Diegas on a looping run to the back post. We'll see if that's the play again here as Victor Pereira has it teed up. Gets the wave from the official. Ball into the box. Headed in! Did it go in? Apparently not. Apparently hit the crossbar and came out. It was awfully close, but the Tropics did not indicate that they thought it went in. So right at the buzzer, the Tropics miss on a tremendous opportunity on that corner kick. So we will go to the intermission. The only goal of the first half in the 14th minute from Ricardo Diegas, his 6th of the season, on an assist by Garrettson Crane. We'll rejoin you in just a little bit for second half action. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Just underway here to start the second half at the Myrtle Sports Complex here in Auburndale, Florida. One nothing lead.
I did. The little remote thingy, there's a plus and minus.
Orlando has an answer.
Whoever that was. I don't know.
I got this from, it was in the camera. Right?
Okay. Then just, like, I'll hold on to it so I don't lose it.
You're holding on to it?
Or no, yeah, you want to put it in there. That's a good idea. But I have them one here, so.
The guy who just threw the smoke out there is the guy that I'm going to, like, film right now.
Yay. Get tired of the bugs?
Yes. Oh my god. They kept coming at me over there.
I told you. Like right now is like the bad time.
Yeah.
Like, you can see them in the lights. Literally last week you missed it. That came straight this way.
And then the camera thingy fell off,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Oh yeah. Well, it somehow it came unplugged up top, so the battery had died.
oh
Literally
really?
perfect timing, halftime. So I just lowered it and plug it off. Yeah, looks like you're gonna go filming.
I'm taking a second.
Good job. Good job you got there.
I bet you $10.
They couldn't get the scoreboard.
No. Even the guy
Easy,
that
affordable, and a whole lot more caring. That's the healthcare you deserve.
everything's
And
working
we've got the
except the
Medicare Advantage plans to make it happen at Devoted Health.
so like
The
bottom
presenting sponsor for the 2019
we only have
Tropics
four
SC
time
season.
limits.
For more information,
So I guess finally.
check out their website at
I'm gonna get some B-roll of Dan over
www.devoted.com.
there that says, like, a picture that they have hung up on the sign there. And probably on the
Okay, see all this stuff. I bet you think you're still steady, but it's not.
Look at it. You got the footage, don't you?
Oh well. Section that's like
Even if it's not. It's usable.
if it's too shaky now, it's not. Somebody's gonna go put it.
Of course it is.
Let's see. You think you're all so mighty? Let's take a little looky.
It's not hooked up to the speakers, is it?
Oh shit!
Close on the challenge as William Diaz was taken down. The long ball into the Florida box, but Hugo Silva will cover that one up. Just a step or two too far for Janeiro Brazil, who looks to be a substitute now into the game. Here's a header into the box that's knocked out. That one will head over and, yep, do not adjust your sets. That did, in fact, hit our camera. Perfect hit. And I think we're still on the air, so that's the good news. Machado will do the honors here on the throw-in. Leonardo going to wait just a moment here as not sure what the holdup is exactly, but now we're set to go. Tropics appear to have the same 11 out there that they ended the first half with, so no substitutes yet for Lucas Teixeira. Throw-in coming up here for the Tropics. Lien will take it, gets it ahead to Ojeda with a long shot, and that is handled by Matos. Manolares will track it down. Boateng going to make a long run here, but Holland will catch up for Sporting Orlando, and then Colina gets it out of harm's way. Back to Matos. Nguyen on the intercept. Boateng. Melvin taken down, and that'll be a direct kick coming up here for the Tropics. Next home game is Friday night here at Lake Myrtle, 7:30 kickoff. First of two straight Friday home games. It's a 5-game homestand for the Tropics. Friday night it'll be the Inter Orlando Academy providing the opposition, and then the last game of the homestand on the 4th of May, and I'll have to check with our general manager Andrew Ross. Is that a Saturday night game, May 4th? So that's a change from the original schedule of May 3rd, so it is Saturday, May 4th. Into the box and a little too tall. Now it's finally caught up right before it goes over the end line, and be a goal kick coming up here for Matos. So I have to correct myself. That Friday night game, May 3rd, has been changed to a Saturday night game now, May 4th, against the Greater Orlando Soccer Academy, GOSA. Tropics will then hit the road for the first time since the end of March, a May 12th date, Friday night up. Rather a Sunday in Jacksonville, Sunday evening, a 6 o'clock kickoff on May 12th against the Armada. And then back for another showdown game. WAG AZ Soccer International leading the Central East Division. So lots of chances to catch Tropics SC Soccer coming up in the next month or so here at Lake Myrtle. Push forward now by Orlando. Long ball into the box is easily cleared out by Manolares. Colina that tried to create something there. He's got the ball now. 2-0 Tropics. We're early here in the second half in Auburndale, Florida. Again into the box. Knocked out of there again by Monolaris. And the Tropics, let's see if they can control. They can. Nice work in there by Ojeda, but Orlando will take it back. Nice work here by Sporting Orlando. Good chance now in front. Still loose. And finally taken out of there by the Tropics. And Melvin Boateng will come back and do it. Diego Pantuza now in, number 9 for the Tropics. He's got it here on the near side. Gets it ahead to Boateng. Just one man back. Melvin with it. Looking for some help. Leaves it on the left side. Just shot in front. Knocked away, and it will stay in play, and Matos is able to cover it up. Brazil with it. Boateng on him. Brazil with some fancy footwork. Finally taken down as Boateng picks his pocket. Gerritsen Crane with it on the far side now. Tropics will reset the offensive attack here now ahead to Machado. Leonardo gets it through to Ojeda. Ojeda has it knocked away. Orlando trying to control it, and they will. Colina with it. Jorge Mayora, number 17, with it for Orlando. He loses it. Far side. Mien with it. Pereira gets it back to Mien now. Through to Mills and on the right side to Machado. Tropics looking to improve to 4-0 on the season. Only team in West Central Division without a blemish. As we said, if the Tropics can hang on and win it here tonight, they'll move to within a point of Sporting Orlando atop the table with 3 full games in hand still. Ojeda, when that one, you could hear it all the way over here, that collision, and that'll be a yellow card against Brazil. Fortunately, Ojeda looks like he's okay, and that sounded a lot worse than it apparently was.
Fans, don't forget, a chance to pick up your favorite Tropics gear here tonight at Lake Myrtle Sports Complex. The merchandise tent is open on the far sideline. Great selection of shirts and Tropics gear to get ready for the 2019 season and, of course, the U.S. Open Cup coming to Lake Myrtle Sports Park on May 7th. We'll see you then.
Expecting that we'll see a handful of the Tropics SC player in that U.S. Open Cup game for the Lakeland Tropics, including Ricardo Diegues and Victor Pereira. Tropics' 2 biggest stars, both playing for the Lakeland Tropics the last couple of years, so well-deserved and earned that they would get a chance to play in a cup game here in front of the home folks. Counter for Orlando here. Good work by Machado to break up that through ball. Holland was the intended receiver. It'll be a throw in here for the Tropics. Into our 61st minute here. About time that would expect that Lucas Teixeira would start looking at getting some subs back in here. He's got one maybe getting ready to check in over on the far sideline. As Melvin Boateng will come out and Pedro Ivo Diaz will make his first appearance of the season for the UPSL Tropics SC. No stranger to Tropics fans. He's suited up for the Major Arena Soccer League Florida Tropics. Has also suited up for the Lakeland Tropics and USL League 2. Don't forget they start their season May 11th at Bryant Stadium. And for more information, you can go to lakelandtropics.com. You can always get ticket information at 863-240-0101. Of course, most importantly, get ticket information for the U.S. Open Cup game here May 7th. Hoping for a huge turnout here at Lake Myrtle Sports Park to show the soccer world and the Polk County sports community that we are indeed soccer proud here in Auburndale and Lakeland and Polk County. The Villages SC will provide the opposition that night. Lakeland Tropics' chief rival, so it should be not only a memorable evening just in terms of its history, but should be a great match as well. Tuesday night, May 7th, 7 o'clock start here at Lake Myrtle. Machado will clear that one out of danger. Carreras with it now, and he'll get it over to Ivo Diaz just into the game. Next, a nice little touch up to Machado. Machado with pressure here as Orlando really trying to chase now as Howland commits the foul. Good work by Chris Arnold, our official photographer for Tropics Soccer. Got better footwork than I would have expected. Appreciate all the work that Chris puts in on making sure all these games are well chronicled, both at the RP Funding Center and Bryant Stadium and here at Lake Myrtle. Beautiful soccer complex here. Baseball and softball as well. It was actually originally was a soccer complex to begin with. All the baseball and softball fields that you actually see from the road came after the development of the soccer fields here. It's home to the Florida Youth Soccer Association. Their three-story office building just off to our right here in the shadows of the stadium field. Nien will come out of there with it. Still battling over there, and finally Sporting Orlando will get an opportunity. There's a long shot that is nowhere near frame as Howland let it go from about 28 yards out. Sporting Orlando clearly turning up the pressure here a little. Now into the 65th minute. Your score of Tropics SC 2, Sporting Orlando 0. Howland will look upfield and get it to Oliveria, but he loses it. Machado battling with Brasil, and Brasil going to be called for the push as he and Machado got their hands up a little bit. Pedro Ivo Diaz, number 5 tonight for the Tropics SC. It's the number of Lucas Teixeira for the coach when he plays for the Florida Tropics. Ohana still in there for the Tropics. Gets it to Ivo Diaz. And he'll get it back to Andrew Clare as the Tropics reset the offense. Mills to Millian. He'll reverse course and get it over for Machado, and he couldn't quite control it. Maybe a little too anxious with all that green grass in front of him, and pretty good ball by Millian there. Ivo Diaz tries to make a steal and will at least get the turnover as Dieguez gets it back to Ivo Diaz. But then he turns it right back to Sporting Orlando. Visitors with a chance for a run here. It'll be broken up by Andrew Clare, however. Gets it ahead to Ivo Diaz and over to Millian. Chasing is Jorge Mayora, number 17. Ball into the box, never got through. So the Tropics will reset the offense here. Looks like Mike Hanfranco working his way towards the midfield stripe as a substitute.
The Florida Brewery is Auburndale's best kept secret no more. They are the second oldest brewery in the state of Florida, going back to 1972, but their new beer garden has debuted in 2019. Make sure you check out all the great entertainment, food, and obviously the great craft beer at the Florida Brewery here in Auburndale.
I may run back out, but for now I have.
Their new beer garden open Fridays from 5:30 until 10:30 and Saturdays from noon until 9 p.m. at 202 Gandy Road in Auburndale. That's right across the railroad tracks from Auburndale High School, right in the shadows of the Bloodhounds football stadium and baseball field. For more information, visit the Florida Brewery Facebook page at the Florida Brewery, or email contact us at floridabrewery.com. Both indoor and outdoor seating available. It's a gorgeous facility. Make sure you check out Auburndale's newest hotspot for great food, great entertainment, and great beer. That's the new beer garden at the Florida Brewery, the presenting sponsor for this evening's match. Not sure if it's been posted yet, but if it hasn't, you'll see Melvin Boateng with the newest edition of Tropics Weekly. Had a chance to interview Melvin out at the Florida Brewery a few days ago. What a spectacular facility that is. Can't wait to actually get back out there on a Friday or Saturday to enjoy some of their great brews. Their grapefruit shandy is their most popular seller, although their chief financial officer, Stacy, who took us on the tour out there, shared a little secret with us that you can ask for the Stacy Special. And that is a pretty popular one as well. It's a combination of a shandy and one of their other local brews. Well, there is nasty contact on Machado as he is down again. And I have to think that maybe Sporting Orlando may not be far away from a red card here. They have picked it up physically and not necessarily in a good way. And Machado is going to be down here. And Lloyd Knudsen, the Tropics fine trainer, will jog out to check on Leonardo. So the dates to remember while we have a little break in the action: Friday night here back at Lake Myrtle for the continuation of this homestand. It will be
Inter Orlando Academy providing the opposition that night. And then a change in the schedule, a nice one at that. We moved from a Friday night to a Saturday night from May 3rd originally, now to May 4th, when the Greater Orlando Soccer Academy will be in town. That is a 7:30 kickoff here at Lake Myrtle as well. For those of you just up I-4 a bit in Orlando who follow Sporting Orlando, can look ahead on their schedule. They will be in action on May 4th as well. That'll be their next start, so they'll have a little bit of a breather in the schedule. That'll be against Leg AZ Soccer International. That'll be a dandy. Then the St. Petersburg FC Aztecs will visit on Saturday the 5th, or rather the 11th of May. That'll be the night of the Lakeland Tropics home opener in USL League 2. And then a matchup on May 18th with the Maca Ballers FC. They will be on the Tropics schedule later this season as well. More substitutions now for the Tropics as we wind well into the second half. It's Diego Pantuza into the game, number 8. And as we expected, Maicon Franca, number 12, also in now. Pantuza with it, and he'll lay it back for Crane, who gets it ahead. Pereira's with it. In the box, Pereira's with it. Comes in, and it'll be offsides. So, nifty little passing sequence, but Pereira's just a little bit ahead of the field. Silva will come out to play it now for the Tropics as we head towards our 75th minute. Well, time running out here on Sporting Orlando as the Tropics bid to make their season mark a perfect 4-0-0. Machado, who is taking a couple of lumps here in the second half, gets it in the middle of the field to Ivo Diaz. Pereira's pushes ahead. Pantuza with it from Ivo Diaz. Franca with it. Franca tried to hit Claire on a run. Or check that. That was Mills. Wondered what Andrew was doing up front. Or he's not quite as tall as Claire either, so. Long ball into the box, but nobody home for the Tropics. Both Diegas and Franca were well outside the box. Machado will pick it up. Ivo Diaz plays it right back to Machado. This little creative back heel to Maicon Franco. Cantuza tries to get it ahead to Mills, and that one didn't quite connect. A little over 10 minutes to play. Tropics 2, Sporting Orlando 0. Now into our 76th minute of play here. Score remains Florida Tropics SC 2 and Sporting Orlando 0. That'll be the night for Victor Pereras and Ricardo Diegues. Xavier Silva checks in. He has scored in each of the first 2 home games as a second half substitute. Ricardo Diegues getting the only goal of the first half, his 6th of the season at the 14-minute mark. And the Tropics adding a second just right off almost the opening kick to the second half. Cantuza will start the counter here. Moves it off to the speedy Maicon Franco. Gets it ahead to Nick Mesh, who is the other substitute into the game. Nick, a star at local McKeel High School here in Lakeland. So another local connection to the Polk County soccer scene. One will roll harmlessly to Silva. He's able to get it upfield, and it's Pedro Ivo Diaz with it. And this is Nick Mesh, the McKeel product. Where's number 20? Mills unable to keep possession over there, but the Tropics do. Pretty heavy takedown, but no foul. There's Ivo Diaz who hit the deck there. Monolera steps up. And there's a collision, and a foul will go against Monoleras. Quick restart for Orlando, but not going to catch the Tropics sleeping on that one. That one never got through as Monoleras. Rather, was that Claire maybe that got that shot? Couldn't tell. I think it was Lucas. Franco will track it down now. Over to Nicholas Mesh. Cantuza now. Tropics certainly happy to run a little clock here as we've got just about 10 minutes to play. Shot, and that one misses on the short side. Actually, Pereras is still in the game. It was Diegues that got subbed out just a little bit ago. One of the few starters still left in there for the Tropics. Matos will come off his line. Pressured by Franca and Xavier Silva. No relation to Hugo. Got some bad information on the home opener and mentioned they thought they were related. They are not. Soccer blood brothers, at least. Brazil will take the corner here for, Sporting Orlando trying to break the shutout. Would be the Tropics' 4th straight. On its way, and there's a header, and that's going to go over the box. Over the goal, rather, not a play. Actually, one of the best. Might be the only suspense left here is whether or not the Tropics can get the clean sheet. Franca will control it, or try to at least. Can't. Brazil will try and get it ahead to his teammate, Holland. Cleared to the far wing by Miller up and knocked out of play. Goal kick coming up here for Silva. A couple of decent opportunities here for Sporting Orlando late. They have not had really as many chances here in the second half as they did in the first. Not that they've had a ton, but although Diaz with it on the far side, gets it ahead. A little too out in front of Mills, is going to try and track it down. Mills gets in there again quickly, but knocked over the sideline, so it'll be another throw in here for Sporting Orlando. Closing in on the 84th minute now.
I'm going to add his to my tally. Woo! That's 7.
Don't forget, we're home again Friday. 7:30 kickoff here at Lake Myrtle. Is that one set halfway to Zephyr Hills? Silva will let it fly. Looks for Franca. Trying to get it through to Silva. Hugo Silva, that is. In goal, Xavier Silva in the field. Not quite a Silva to Silva connection, but almost. Also on a foul against the Tropics here, so set piece coming up for Sporting Orlando. Provided the stiffest test of the season so far for the Tropics, who have now outscored their opponents 15-0 in their 4 games. see who will do the honors. It'll actually be a short ball. Brazil with it. Gets it out to Leonardo Eli, number 14, is into the game now. Played all the way back to Hugo. And a little pressure in there from Colina, but rather all the way back to Matos. Colina came out of there with it. Here's Ely with it. Through ball to Silva. Hugo Silva trying to create a chance in the box. Defender goes down. Silva still with it. Takes a shot and just misses Farkas. But there to collect the rebound. That is Corey Mills with his second of the season and first of the night. Oh, Xavier Silva did all the work, but Corey Mills will be the beneficiary of the efforts by Silva, knocking in the Tropics' third goal of the game. And for Mills, that's his second straight. Had one here last Wednesday. So 3-0. That one coming in the 82nd minute. So goes the 14-minute mark, the 46-minute mark, and the 86th-minute mark here. And if there was any suspense left in the outcome, Corey Mills, thanks to the work of Xavier Silva, have eliminated that. Third Tropics goal scored by number 14, Corey Mills. Assist to number 11, Xavier Silva. Mills from Silva in the 86th minute. And please do not forget, Tuesday, May 7th, we need you out here at Lake Myrtle Sports Complex for the U.S. Open Cup, making its first ever appearance in Polk County. Here's a ball through to Silva, and Matos comes out off his line to make a very nice play. Mesh trying to keep it alive here for the Tropics, knocked out by Sporting Orlando. So Mesh will get the throw in. That is a 7 o'clock kickoff against the Villages SC, the opening round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Big night here at the Lake Myrtle Sports Complex, and for Polk County sports fans to turn out and kind of show the world what the vision of soccer will be here in Polk County in the years to come. Of course, the Lakeland Tropics will be on the pitch that night. They normally play their home games at Bryant Stadium, and they will again in USL League 2 this summer, but that field is not quite regulation size, so they will play the U.S. Open Cup game right here at Lake Myrtle. Here's Franco with a long shot, and that just sails over the crossbar. So 90th minute, aren't we? We are at the 90th minute. The score, Tropics SC 3, Sporting Orlando 0, 90th minute. Of course, the Lakeland Tropics and all the Tropics fans here in Polk County did not really ever get a chance to experience the excitement of a U.S. Open Cup game last year, since the Tropics were on the road in Midland, Texas. But this year, right here in Auburndale, against their rival, the Villages SC. Should be a ton of fun. And we look forward to having you as part of the festivities out here. And then the Lakeland Tropics USL League 2 team will make their League 2 debut on Saturday night, May 11th at Bryant Stadium against Daytona. One of the new entrants in USL League 2. Some fun teams coming in. Daytona has a team this year. Sarasota. The Treasure Coast has a team. So it'll be fun to welcome some of those stalwarts, along with some of the teams that Lakeland Tropics fans have come to know and love, like FC Miami City and, of course, the Villages. The Villages and the Lakeland Tropics have played 4 times over the last 2 years. Tropics winning 2, drawing 1, and losing 1. So not only will it be for all the glory in the U.S. Open Cup first round, but a grudge match just between the two sides as well. Now, should also mention that the winner of that game will go on to play the Tampa Bay Rowdies in round 2, USL Championship League Rowdies. There's a long ball, and Silva protects the shutout on the effort from distance by Colina. Yeah, that has to be, I would think, a yellow card, right? A little creative defensive play there by Edward Venancio. That game in St. Petersburg, Al Lang Stadium, would be May 14th. So the winner of the Tropics Villages first round game here, May 7th, will travel to St. Petersburg on the 14th to take on the Rowdies in round 2. And how much fun would that be for Tropics fans to make a little road trip over to Al Lang Stadium and see the Tropics match their skills against the Rowdies, one of the most iconic names in American sports soccer history, really. Certainly in the Southeast, and that is full time now here tonight at Lake Myrtle. A solid effort start to finish for the Tropics as their fans appreciate a 3-0 win over Sporting Orlando. The Tropics move to a perfect 4-0-0 on the season, and Sporting Orlando falls to 4-2-1. They remain atop the table for the time being. The Tropics now just a point back and with 3 games in hand. So our next broadcast will come your way Friday night right here from Lake Myrtle Sports Park. If you can't come out to the game, we appreciate your viewership on myjucocujo.com. But we would love to see you out here this Friday night for the 4th of 5 games in this homestand. And if you can't make it then you'll have a Saturday night opportunity on May 4th as the Greater Orlando Soccer Academy will provide the opposition then. So the final once again here from Lake Myrtle Sports Complex in Auburndale tonight, the Tropics SC4, the Tropics SC3 and Sporting Orlando 0. Until Friday night, have a great week, everybody.